The catalyst, man. That moment where the switch gets flipped. The moment arrives for everybody, at least those that decide they want their life to be different, to be better, to be elevated, that they want to become the evolved version of self. Be sure, before you start that journey, you take an accurate bearing, that you have an accurate map, that you have all the good information so that you can move knowing you're moving correctly, efficiently, and effectively. Along your quest, look around, take it in, enjoy it. Because it's a journey you're never going to arrive. You better learn to love it.
So we're at 360 Fitness Facility. It's in Duarte, California, owned by a good friend of mine, Frankie Rodriguez. Surrounded with the right voices that basically turn it into, if you're not going to do this, and are you going to do this, or what are you going to do? Like, what's going to happen here? You know?
Yeah.
Like, you're either doing it or you're not. And the only way that you're ever going to get to where you're supposed to be at is going to be by doing it.
Yeah.
Now, Alex Hormozy was another influence that I listened to.
Dude, I love him.
Alex went through the same phase.
Yeah.
So like worked for his, like basically like had a like, I wouldn't say like a father issue.
Yeah.
But was always trying to impress dad.
Yeah.
So, and then he had to go out on his own, told he was crazy.
Yeah.
Go down to nothing.
Sleeping in gyms and doing the whole thing,
I was just actually listening to his, he was doing a podcast with the guy that started Quest.
Okay.
So I was listening to that like just the other day. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about, he's like, bro, I took out that $100,000 loan like on a chance.
Yeah.
I just bet on myself.
Yeah.
You know? So listening to these influences, I was like, I need to take that chance.
Yeah.
Like I had a financial future that was totally set for me.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Just sit back, I got paid the rest of my life. It was like winning the fucking lotto.
Yeah.
But it wasn't making me happy.
Yeah.
Like every day I was like, fuck, I gotta go to work again. Like, God damn it.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe worse because it was actually making you unhealthy. You're just kind of eating and kind of
just miserable. Yeah. Well, like when I found this way of living, and then obviously the way I can live it, that became the purpose.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking heavy, man, because I try to tell guys, man, I'm like, hey, you gotta at some point draw a line in the sand. And no great story ever has no step across the gap. Yeah. Nothing. It's never like, oh yeah, for sure this is gonna be the safe fucking call. Never. No story ever. I'm like, bro, you have to have a little faith in your fucking self, man. I mean, how many times you're talking to guys and you're trying to be like, hey dude, and they reach out, they're like, I need fucking help. I need to do this. And you're like, all right, man, well, here's what we gotta do. And they're like, ghost, and I'm like, bro, it's because there's this deep-rooted lack of belief in yourself and lack of sureness. I'm like, bro, you're never gonna know. You're not gonna know.
Well, it's always the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Right, and then like, I started listening to other messages out there. Like, what's the worst that's gonna fucking happen?
Yeah.
Like, fortunately,
that's a good way to think about it.
We live in this country. Like, what's the worst? I go totally bankrupt.
Yeah.
I lose everything.
Yeah.
The government's gonna give me food. They're gonna give me shelter. They're gonna give me health care.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just be like 99% of these other like lowlifes. Just suck off the government, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I already know, like with the skill set that we've that this life presents itself, like you're gonna develop some fucking serious skills. That most people like can't even understand.
Yeah, that's true.
And so with that, you could take that anywhere.
100%.
And that was another thing that these guys always talked about.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, if I lost everything, I got the skill set.
Yeah, you've developed self enough to the point where you've built your self-worth up to a level where you could cover down on anything you're trying to do.
Well, and as long as you can like talk to somebody, you can show up to the same place on a regular basis.
Yeah.
You're already.
Yeah, you're winning. Yeah, you're ahead of the game.
Right? Oh.
I think it was Hormozy said something great recently. He goes, if you could show up early, do what you say you're going to do, provide serious value, and he's going down this list, and he's like, you're ahead of 99% of people already.
You know, like, obviously, my background's not like yours, you know, but I've been in leadership roles, you know, and I've been a part of different, you know, sports teams and this and that, organization, whatever, and I've always been in a fortunate position to be like a leader.
Yeah.
Of some sort. So that skill alone is going to make it so that you're at least going to be able to provide for yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you won't allow yourself to be that person. And the way I live my life, and especially with social media and all, I got connections everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And that's what it is, develop the network. Because you provide, when you become a valuable person, you're valuable in a lot of circles.
Well, that and, you know, like Bradley, all these voices, right? Like, that's the thing. Before I went down this road, I wasn't listening to these people. Yeah. I was fucking watching Fox News or watching football. Or,
you're blinded from it all.
I would just, the things that I would spend my time focused on had nothing to do with personal development, business, or anything really about making myself better on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right.
That's a really good point. If you're listening to what he's saying, if you're in that state and you're just kind of going through the motions, man, you got the news on in the background, you're just you're mindlessly scrolling, searching for nothing positive but just distraction. That's the key. If you're looking for just distraction, man, start to think why. Raise your consciousness up. Start listening to these voices, because I'll tell you what, universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is speaking to you in all over. You just have to be smart enough to open your eyes and also listen and understand what these signs are telling you, man. It's all guiding you to your best divine designed self, man. It's all there. It's all here. Trust me. Sit back, quiet some of the noise, start stripping away the distraction, or you're never going to be able to hear it.
Well, I think that was like a big thing with like who the messengers became.
Yeah.
Right. Like obviously, I'm a product of the Wes Watson camp. In a lot of ways, but Wes was that guy. Yeah. He was the vehicle. Yeah. He was saying the same message that like a Tony Robbins or like Jim Rohn or any of these other like guys would talk about, but I wouldn't listen to those fucking dudes. Yeah. Like I didn't identify with Tony Robbins. Or, like I knew who he was. I thought he was a joke. Yeah. Now I think he's a genius. But,
Once you start opening up,
like here I am, like fuck this dude, right? But Wes was the guy. I was like, wait a second. Yeah. This guy kind of looks like me. Yeah. Or at least I want to look like that. Yeah. And he has a different background. He has a different way of talking. Yeah. Like, and this fucking guy's waking up every day. He's driving all these shiny objects. Yeah. Okay, boom. Like he became that vehicle. He became the messenger. Yeah. So that's what got me. Yeah. And that's the thing about like when I tell like people, you know, the coaching market's saturated. Yeah. Yeah. Every coaching market's saturated. Yeah. Like, I used to be a football coach. Yeah. Every fucking high school has one. Yeah. And they got 12 on staff. Yeah. Like, there's coaches everywhere. Yeah. Pick your sport, you know. Yeah. But it comes down to like, okay, well, who's going to be that vehicle? Yeah. You know, because I was a linebacker coach. Yeah. Well, there's linebacker coaches everywhere. Yeah. But I also got to the point where people are like, parents are coming up to me and like, oh, my son says you're the best coach he's ever had. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And why do you think that is? What do you think raises somebody and separates somebody from being just another number versus trying to being great?
Well, I think when you're in the coaching space, it's all about like the connection that you're going to have. Mm-hmm. And then what are you trying to pull from that like kid that you're coaching or whoever you're mentoring? And like with the kids that I coach, I treated them like we had the same last name.
Yeah, yeah. Like actually,
they're my boys. Like I learned that. Like I'm an only child, right? Mm-hmm. So my dad never played one snap of football. Yeah. Never wore a football helmet. Yeah. But I loved football. Yeah. And did all right. Yeah. I wasn't the best guy ever, but I had a good time. Yeah. Those bonds that I built with my coach and the other linebackers, because the linebacker position's different. Yeah.
Well, that was my position, bro. I'm tracking on it.
Badass.
Yeah, it is a different position.
Like, no disrespect, but I tell everyone, like, we're like the Navy SEALs of the football field.
It's a different type of energy.
Yeah, like, we're expected to do the things that all the other positions won't do.
Yeah.
And you're going to rely on your linebacker to your left and your right more than any other position is going to rely on their counterpart.
Yeah.
So, like, in the linebacking core, like, it's like being in a motorcycle pack. It's like being in a group. Like, I'm going to know what the guy to the left of me is already doing based off of what we're both seeing.
Have that trust.
Yeah, so like you build that like crazy instinct with the guy next to you. Mm-hmm. And so that was an extension of how I coached. The coach was also part of that little inner circle.
Yeah.
So when you're treating your players like that, and when you're imparting that kind of knowledge and that brotherhood amongst the group, well, you're going to form a bond and a friendship that's different. It's outside the game.
Yeah, you're not getting that from somebody who's just showing up.
Yeah, I'm going to do like those like...
Those go all the way up?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
So basically like a jumping jack. So like I'll turn forward and then finish at the top. It hits the whole shoulder.
You know, I've never done that.
Oh, man.
Oof. I've been getting enough full range of motion on my shoulders.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
Yeah, I've been, I've always kind of, man, my shoulders are always, I always got to work on my shoulders. I always feel like they're kind of underdeveloped. And I'm like, my arms will grow a little bit, but my fucking shoulders, man, they just.
I mean, the thing that helped me, good or bad, was putting enough fluid in there.
Yeah.
Like when that became an injection site, you know? I mean, you're going to get that extra volume in there.
Get a little extra boom.
I mean, I don't go crazy with the stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say, I wouldn't say I dabbled.
Yeah.
I was like maybe from the time to 30 to 35, maybe like 3 cycles.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But always maintain testosterone.
Yeah.
And then over the last 2 years, this is now my 2nd cycle.
Okay.
So I haven't been running like continuous cycles,
much,
you know?
That's not much at all.
And I don't even, like, this one's very mild compared to what I did a year ago.
Yeah.
Like a year ago, I was like a chemistry set.
Yeah.
Like, it was to the point where like I saw the protocol and I was like, for weeks, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I was even talking to like some of my clients.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, guys. Like, I'm like, damn, this is a lot, you know? And I'm like,
Yeah.
And it was weird. I was like, fuck it, let's just do it, you know? And because, you know, I want to get into bodybuilding, so it's like, you're not going to be a golfer without the best golf clubs.
Yeah.
So if like you want to get into bodybuilding, like.
How's that been going on your cut and your macros and stuff? Like, has it been a big chop or?
So right now.
Where do you run about like calorie wise normally?
So I'm carb cycling right now.
Okay.
And it's been an adjustable carb cycle.
Okay.
So I started out where like my high days were like 6 cups of rice a day.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
And then now I'm down on a low day, 1 cup.
Okay.
And now my high days are 3 cups.
And you're doing like 3 days or
so right now it's a 5-day pyramid, but I've done 3-day pyramids, I've done 4-day pyramids. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of bro science.
Yeah.
Right? So like the bodybuilding world and the macro diet world are 2 separate entities.
Yeah, okay.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
But the bodybuilding world does follow macros, they just don't call it that.
Yeah, they call it weights and
they're just like, this is what we eat.
Yeah.
You're going to eat this much, you're going to eat this much, you're going to eat this much.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, they're just not pulling the numbers out of it.
Yeah.
They're like, you're going to eat 4 ounces of chicken and a cup of rice. And
like every bodybuilder I've talked to, they're like, this is your meal. 8 ounces this, 4. The macro guys are like, no, I want you to be like, then this is where I coach.
That's a good, interesting.
I want you to be at these numbers.
Yeah.
This meal is going to have this number. This meal is going to have this number. This is how you're going to break it down. And you can eat whatever you want as long as you hit the numbers.
Yeah.
The bodybuilder's like, no, you're going to eat one option every fucking day.
Yeah. So it's always the same.
Always the same. No deviation.
I kind of like that consistency. Because I'm a cat. I can eat the same thing every day, man. It's like, for the most part, man, I could. You know, people are like, hey, I want to mix it up. I'm like, for me, I don't mind a little, like, the consistency. I mix it up, but I don't have a problem with the same food every meal, really.
I mean, I'm a discipline junkie at the moment.
Yeah.
So, like,
discipline junkie.
I've been eating the same food for, like, I don't know, 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Every day.
This man's 700 days in a row.
$6.99.
$6.99, man.
$6.99 today.
Hasn't missed a day yet in the gym. That's impressive. That's impressive. Impressive consistency, man.
With the morning burpees, and well, other than when I broke my fucking wrist on the motorcycle accident.
Oh, that sucks. How many times have you dipped it?
That was the first one.
Really?
Yeah. I got freaking tagged by a car.
Damn, dude. What, at a red light or something?
No, on the freeway.
Damn.
But it was good because it made me to really prove how bad you want it.
Yeah.
Because I worked out every single fucking day with a broken wrist. I never missed.
And that is,
It's a good one, huh?
that, dude, yeah.
So the other good thing about breaking the wrist, from a coaching standpoint, is I developed a whole routine for guys with broken wrists.
Yeah, yeah, you're like, what did you end up doing? You just had
So
like...
I like straight MacGyvered it. I took ankle straps and created a third arm.
Oh, okay.
So I put them around my elbow.
Yeah.
And I would just come up with all kinds of exercises, and then I would just do curls off the cast. The doctor's like, no, don't do that. I was like, okay, thanks. And I would just keep doing it, you know?
You see that, man? There's always a way. Also through injuries, what I tell people, because I'll talk to guys, I'm sure you have too, John, it's, oh, I'm hurt, man. I'll get back on it when I'm off. I'm like, bro, if you're injured, that's the time to lock it on. Why not come out with momentum? Fix your diet tight. Man, if you're not working out, that's the time to have your diet the absolute tightest. Or if you're working out less, little movement, always stay in the game. Keep moving, keep the bands going. Is it ideal? No, but it's a lot better than zero, right? Always kind of stay in the game, because more importantly, psychologically, man, we're working out for mindset. Yeah, results are nice, but man, don't you want to feel better? I know I do. Keep it moving, do what you can. Man, does it have to be pretty? No, but it works.
Yeah, I mean, I just tell people, just focus on what you can do.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares about what you can't do.
Yeah, dude,
like, nobody cares. Like, and that's what I tell them. Like, if you can only do like one exercise, well, run that fucker into the ground.
Yeah,
do a million sets of it.
You better have some blasted abs if your leg's broken.
And what was weird is I was leaner coming off of that.
Yeah, I bet.
Than I've been in a long time.
Why do you think? Because you toned in the diet a little tighter, or you just weren't lifting the same?
Well, I changed the way I trained.
Yeah.
Everything was super high fucking volume.
Yeah, you
like,
weren't going
because
heavy.
I couldn't go heavy, you know, like I would literally be like 3 minutes continuous into a bicep set.
Yeah.
I would just sit there for 3 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes I like doing that.
Yeah.
That high volume and just kind of burning it out.
Yeah, so I think
It's a nice mix-up.
that calorie increase, you know, like a calorie burn increase just from the different stimulus.
Yeah.
And my macros were dialed in, you know. I was walking more. And I think like just mentally, like you're trying to.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm gonna up, I'm gonna crank it up a little bit, man, because I'm hurt, dude. And that's important, man.
Stick with it.
So important. Stay focused.
Well, the body likes movement regardless. You know, like even if you're in the hospital, what's the first thing they tell you to do? Get the fuck up and walk, move.
Just overall health, man. Dude, so important.
I usually do like maybe like 4 or 5 sets typically for each.
Yeah.
I'm just hitting like a pump.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, bro. Whew. Man, that's pretty good exercise, man. I never done that before. I like that. I need to start working at that a lot more. That's why I like working out with different cats. It's like, hey, do this. And I'm like, oh, dude, get out of your rut, man. Step out of your comfort zone a little bit. I talk about it a lot. Go work out with people, man. Mix it up. You're going to get more information, and then you apply it, right? Because that's the most important part.
I mean, I've been doing this for 29 years in the gym.
Yeah.
You know, I was 13 years old. Well, I was a chubby kid growing up.
Yeah.
So then I was watching, like back in our day, right?
Yeah.
You're watching movies. Who are all the guys? Schwarzenegger, Stallone,
dude. Yeah.
like Jesse Ventura.
Man, great time for movies, bro, and movie
like everybody was
stars.
a fucking monster. They look like fucking action figures.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I don't even know who the fuck the guys are, but they're all a lot smaller.
Yeah, it was a different time, bro, because kind of when we started lifting, man, it was, man, you go to the gym, you get your protein powder, and you start putting it down, dude.
Well, and it was chalk everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, I was like a punk kid.
Yeah.
So like I would run my mouth. I got fucking jumped by the older guys, you know.
Yeah.
Like, man, this guy won't shut his mouth up.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 you know. But I just gravitated. Like I was benching 300 pounds as a freshman in high school.
Damn,
I just
dude.
got into it.
Yeah.
I was tired of being the fat kid.
Yeah.
You know, I got teased and all.
Yeah.
There was times I was going home crying, you know, and shit. Like
Where'd you play high school ball at?
I'm from Ventura County.
Oh, dude, you play over in
So I played
Ventura?
at Thousand Oaks High School.
Oh, sick, dude,
Yeah.
man. They got good ball over there.
Yeah, I mean we're decent, you know.
Yeah.
Like the powerhouse now are like the private schools in that area,
Yeah.
and it bounces around. Like high school football is a different animal, you
Yeah,
know.
it is.
Like the teams that were terrible or great, like it's different, you know. But it's pretty good football. I mean, the biggest thing about being from TO, and especially like, at that time of like football, you're born there, you're raised there, all your buddies are there. You guys all grew up together.
Yeah.
There's no transferring.
Yeah. That
Like-
is cool, dude. I went to Poway. I'm from Poway.
Okay,
Kinda
man,
down
nice.
there, and so we played down there, man, and it was the same.
Yeah.
It was like, dudes. I didn't grow up there, but I moved to high school there, and when we were playing Division I for California, man, it was. I mean, we had 4,000 kids at the high school, so there were some good athletes and shit, man. But it was everybody from there. You're from there. It's kind of nice, the community like that, man. I like that.
And San Diego ball is a big deal.
Yeah.
A lot of good players came out of there.
Yeah.
You know, like nowadays, like, oh, you're not happy? Oh, cool. Then just this year you're going to be on this school, and then this year you're over here. And it's just different. It became a business, and I get it. Like, the kids are actually making millions of dollars now in high school.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Right? So, like,
Dude, that's crazy.
completely
bro.
different animal.
Yeah.
So, but for me, like, I was always like, I'm an 805 kid, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's got like their pride. And
Yeah.
I just say, people from the 805 are just different, you know? Like everyone I ever met from the 805, like we're just different, you know?
Yeah.
But then everyone says that about the 714, the 909, the 858, whatever, right? But yeah, and that's where I went to, I played junior college football out there as well.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Moorpark College.
Oh, you played linebacker both spots?
Yeah, and then I ended up bouncing around a little bit, but finished up at Chapman.
Oh, really, dude?
Yeah, in the city of Orange.
Bro, I went to Chapman freshman year,
Did
dude.
you?
Yeah, dude. Bro, no
Small
way,
world.
dude. Yeah,
Small
dude. I got in a car accident because I was going there to Two Sport, and I got in a fucking car accident, man. And I flew out of a lifted Tundra coming back from the desert.
Oh, shit.
And dude, I was like 18, and I dislocated my hip, man. And so it wasn't setting me up good for freshman year. And I was just like, not going to practice, dude. Like, cause I was like, I'm not playing anyway. And then I pretty much got run out. I got kicked off campus pretty fast,
I know that. Well, I didn't
Dude,
graduate.
that's a good spot though, man, dude. A lot of rich kids, man. They got a lot of those hot rich girls, bro.
So I didn't graduate.
Yeah.
But I went there for 2 years and played football. I got my football degree.
Did you really? Oh, you went and played for 2 years?
Yeah. I got my football degree in the sense of like my eligibility was up.
Yeah.
And then I got kicked out of school. And actually the same semester I got kicked out of school was my first DUI.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but I was on a different level back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when I was doing a lot of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
I thought I was Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing blow the night before the game. I'm doing blow after the game.
Yeah.
Like I'm showing up to practice. We're like 10 minutes into a warm up, fucking drenched. My teammates are like looking at me like, bro, you good? I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm like on diet pills. I'm fucking like, I go out there and lead the team in tackles.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking everybody's happy, you know?
Yeah.
And partying 4 nights, 5 nights a week.
Dude, what year was that?
Well, I was there in 2004, 2005.
Dude, I was there in 03.
Oh yeah, so
Dude,
like ships in the night. We just missed each other.
Thank God.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was
Thank God, bro.
man.
Man.
It was kind of like a running joke, but I used to have a big lifted truck, you know? And so back then it was like daddy bought it, you know? And but it was a F-150 Super Crew on 40s.
Damn.
14-inch lift, right?
Bro.
Big ass fucking truck. So I had like the biggest truck on campus, everybody knew, right? But I was the only dude there that was tatted.
Yeah.
Like at that time I had one sleeve.
Yeah.
So they would do orientation and walk all these like really wealthy families through the school. And we'd have football practice and they're like, hey, big, like John, well, my last name's Vanderpyle, right? Hey, Vanderpyle, we don't need you on campus. Like you stay in the fucking, but they're fucking with me, but they're also like being like half serious.
Yeah.
Like you're going to scare away all these fucking rich people.
Go. I think. Dude, that's funny. I left in 04.
Oh, okay. So,
I left in like January 04.
Oh shit. So you got no Visser then and like Coach Steele.
Dude, I mixed it up with some of those guys, bro. Man, that's funny, bro.
And it was like, it worked out because my dad was living in Yorba Linda.
Okay, yeah.
So it was just I never stayed on campus.
Yeah,
I
you
just drove 15 minutes, you know?
That's fucking nice, dude. Man, I really like that campus and shit, man. It was, you know.
Oh, it was.
The location and stuff, the football field right in the middle.
And it's even better now.
I bet.
As I was leaving, they like dumped like, I don't know how many millions of dollars in,
Yeah.
brand new field, brand new this, brand new, like the amount of money in that place is crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
dude. And dude, their uniforms are sick too, like all murdered out,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time. The team, we weren't great as a team, but again, like another bonding opportunity, like guys I still talk to.
That's cool.
Ended up joining a fraternity on campus.
I had Rust Pike, dude.
I am a Pike.
Dude, that was funny, bro.
I'm a Pike.
Yeah, dude, I had Rust Pike, bro. I was in that house all the time, man.
Yeah, I became a Pike.
Yeah, dude, I left and before I finished, I was like, fuck, dude, but.
Yeah, I was our pledge class president.
Yeah, that's fucking good shit.
And there was
dude.
like 25 football players that were in the fraternity.
Yeah.
You know, a bunch of them from San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of them brothers.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of like, you know, everything's been an extension of brotherhood for me.
Yeah.
Only child.
Yeah.
Parents always working, whatever. It was like, okay, it's football. And then it was like, football, okay, now it's like, you know, get into fraternity.
Yeah.
So like all your high school buddies, okay, everyone graduates, everyone kind of moves away. It's never the same.
Yeah.
Then you show up at college and like you have that group and then life moves on. It's never the same.
Yeah.
So then like you move on to the next, you know, and like kind of what I'm doing now is, you know, a little bit more permanent, you know, but it's always been like an extension of like, okay, like what group do you want to run with? Like some guys like to join the yacht club, you know, like
The yacht club, dude.
like I don't fucking have a yacht. Like, I like to ride motorcycles, you know.
The yacht club. What were some of your like hang-ups or self-doubt you were experiencing before you kind of went into the self-development and actually like decided to go all in? What were some of the things that were thinking of you? And I'm more thinking for people listening who might be thinking of the same stuff, like, and it's holding them up.
Yeah,
Family.
I deal with self-doubt every day.
Yeah.
Which is why I wake up and prove it to myself in the morning routine, you know, like when you wake up and you get to work, like instinctively, you're like tricking yourself into like, I can fucking do anything.
Yeah.
Right, so like obviously, where I came from to where I'm at now, the biggest hang up was finances.
Yeah.
You know, because gave up a lot of money to do something that like arguably is way more beneficial for the world, but not maybe for me in a financial aspect right now. Now, as I say that, the way I feel about myself, the way I feel about each day, and the way I feel about work, it's 1,000 times better than it's ever been.
Yeah. You hear that? You're gonna experience that self-doubt. It's impossible to go into anything new and not experience it. Man, I experienced it going to SEAL training, going to Foreign Legion, man, going into self-development. But I was worried, bro, can I like make a living coaching and shit? Dude, I was fucking worried. I'm like, bro, what am I gonna do, dude? I don't have any other skill sets. You're never gonna know. Step across the gap. Only way you're gonna find out is if you do it. Start developing self. Only worry about that one thing, right? And guess what? Shit's not gonna be free. It's not gonna be easy. to fail. Guaranteed, man. Don't quit. Stay at it. Also, just in terms of working out, to bring it back to the gym, guaranteed you're gonna have a bad meal. Guaranteed you're gonna have a bad day. Maybe not the best workout, but you get back on the horse, you keep showing up, you stay in the game, you keep going. Man, this is the man who wins this game is the man who gets back on the horse and keeps riding. Every time, again and again, and you get faster and faster and faster and faster at doing it.
Yeah, I tell all my guys, like, you're just building the bank of mental strength.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Every time you get through something that you didn't think you're going to be able to do,
yeah.
Now you can store that in your memory bank and go back to it when you need to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? Like, when I broke out with a broken arm, okay, cool. Like, so I'm going to miss if I have a fucking runny nose. If I fucking, I got a fucking hangnail.
Yeah.
I didn't get to sleep last night. Like, bro, like, you worked out for 40 days with a fucking cast.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here?
That's a good point.
You know? And so I could always go back to that time. Like, I mean, like I said, you got the biggest you're a multimillionaire in fucking mental strength bank, you know?
Man, but you know what? You know what's funny is I don't feel like that at all, which I think is like why I actually kind of, it pushes me every day, because I'm like, man, dude, I don't know if I got it, right? It's like, you know, you can dig back and go, yeah, I did that, but, you know, still worried about the next thing. And I think that you said it good. It's like, I have to be that way, because maybe it's the little kid in me that needs to fucking prove something, or some insecurity somewhere. I'll admit that. But it's, man, it keeps me moving, bro.
Well, I think a big part of it too is that because you've lived it,
yeah.
It's your life.
Yeah.
It's not extraordinary to you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Right? Like, your frame of reference is everything you've been through.
Yeah.
But most people looking at your life, myself included, like, how the fuck did that guy do that?
Yeah, yeah.
This motherfucker's a goddamn badass.
Yeah, so
you know?
I know all the low points and the weak moments and fucking me feeling, you know, like.
But even like, you probably don't, like, all your highs aren't really that high for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they would be for someone that's never done it before.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's like looking like, that fucking guy Taylor's a fucking beast. Like,
yeah.
That's why I'm like, I told everyone, like, man, I'm working out with a real fucking hero today. You know?
I appreciate that. I'll tell you what though, man. You know what? A guy asked me the other day, and he's like, man, I need some redemption. He's a badass motherfucker, dude. Fought, but it just, you know, he's like, I said, dude, your redemption's not going to come from the next thing you do. And this is what I learned when I was like in that Foreign Legion barracks room, not happy still, and I realized, man, there was no external validation. And when I started looking internal, and the only real redemption I ever truly felt, or true fulfillment, was when I validated myself on my daily habits. I was proud of myself every day. Stopped doing shit I regretted and that was causing me shame. That was another piece. And when I started to help people, that was the true feeling, when I saw that some things that I had learned and mistakes I had made, and it resonated with people, and I saw them improve their lives. Telling you what, I don't care, go be a SEAL, go be a Legionnaire, go do whatever.
I've gone different ways with my messages in a sense, right?
Yeah.
I got to a point where it's like, okay, if I open my mouth, it should help somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like
yeah.
I kind of went down that road.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to fall into like just going negative on stuff, you know?
Yeah, you don't do that, and I try not to do that either.
I try my best.
Man, that's a good point. I noticed you don't do that, and maybe that's why I resonate with it a lot, because don't complain, man. It's a cancer, right? It is an absolute cancer. They say that in special forces in groups too. Don't be that, or any unit, military. You start complaining, the next guy starts complaining, right? Or the inverse, man, throw some pots. Hey, man, we got this. Yeah. Hey, let's get out there and get it. People are like, yeah, bro. There's a guy was going through some training with DEA or something, and there was some Team 6 guys, there was Dev Gru guys kind of doing some of the house training, and he said they were dragging ass. They had been out partying, and they're like, and the guy goes, look, man, groups everybody up. He goes, you guys better get fucking motivated, and if you're not motivated, you better fucking fake it. And I was like, dude, it's well said, bro. Yeah. Stay positive, man. Stay positive.
Yeah, or I think like having like, you can maybe go negative with stuff, but like, okay, we're gonna do this instead.
Yeah.
Like, provide some fucking direction.
Yeah, what's the answer?
Yeah, like, so like that's the thing is like, if I open my mouth and I'm just railing on, like, let's just say hypothetically I start talking shit about somebody.
Yeah.
Like, how is anybody listening to that benefiting?
Dude, there was a good point, and there's some people we don't need to pull out negative people's names here. I was like, I had liked the guy in a couple sentences, and he was like doing his things, and then he started just like all of his content was about specific people. Yeah. And I was just immediately on. I was like, bro, you lost it. Yeah. Lost it. You went to the other side. I'm like, bro, you don't need to be putting out negative shit if it's not providing a solution.
Yeah. I mean, there's entertainment value to it, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why people are doing it. They're doing it for the entertainment. I'm like, bro, you're gonna be better. That's so short-sighted, though.
Yeah, it's the psychological part of it, right? So like, there are people feed on that stuff.
Yeah.
There's books.
It's unfortunately that's what gets some of the numbers up, but it's not what keeps somebody in long term. It'll spike. Yeah. But they're not going to have that long-term value that somebody who's just consistent with that positivity.
Well, and so the guys I study, right, and the guys I like to like consume the most content, I've never really heard them talk down about anybody. Ever. Like the Hormozis.
Yeah, dude, what does he have?
Tony Robbins.
What did he have bad to say?
Yeah, like Brad Lee.
Yeah.
Like he's another influence that I came across, you know.
Yep.
And even like all these books I read, like I'm listening to Tim Ferriss right now. Yeah. When I see Ed Milet, like they're not on there saying, "Hey, do you know so and so?" Like, let me tell you why I don't like them. Never heard that before.
It's very low.
Yeah.
Low vibration, man. Stay in those high vibrational content, because diet is multifaceted. It's what you eat. It's also what you consume mentally, psychologically. Hold yourself to a higher standard. If you're in the gym, right, and you started down that process, we started working together, we started getting in the gym, eating right, man, but you're still consuming garbage, on TV or whatever, I'm telling you what, you're leaving gains on the table, because like we talk about, this isn't just about here's how you curl, man. There's plenty of people out there that show you how to curl. You know how to curl if you're watching this. Man, we're trying to heal our minds, our bodies, our lives. And bro, if you're out there watching porn, man, watching negative stuff on the TV or whatever, getting wrapped up in politics that you are never gonna have effect on, man, be smart. Strip it down, simplify it, simplify your day, simplify what you're consuming. Make clean, man. Read a philosophical book. Listen to some of the guys that are actually putting out really, really positive content, and watch how that improves your life. Watch how it improves your fucking emotional health, man. I know I need to be very careful about my emotional health, because I can go negative very quickly.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Yeah. That's why the program. That's why I tell people, you want to know how fucked up I am? Look at how I live my life now.
Yeah. Yeah.
699 days in a row. Yeah. Waking up and doing the burpees and like.
Dude, those are great, dude. Dude, you hammer those out, bro.
I'm glad you like them. Some mornings I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, you're like,
Like, you know, I mean,
Yeah, no, I get it though.
It's been a game changer.
Yeah,
like,
dude, I'll tell you what, I do my Mike Tysons every morning. I haven't missed.
Yeah,
for
I was gonna ask
years.
you about those.
Yeah, dude, I just like those. I saw Mike Tyson doing them, dude, and I was like, I'm gonna start doing those because I would be doing burpees, but I was doing them in like a barracks bathroom, and there was guys sleeping in the other, so I couldn't be loud.
Yeah.
So I started doing them like, what could I do quietly? That's where I started, and I just ended up really liking them, bro. And I just like it for the shoulder mobility. And
so, like, what is the cadence on? Like, how's that?
man, I do like a full push-up.
So why against the wall?
Just because that's so you can have something to push off of.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of just go like this, like.
Gotcha. So you're engaging the quads.
Yeah, so you can actually, dude, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do like 1 or 2 max sets. Just,
And how many reps?
dude, I'll do, every week I add one.
Oh,
That's
shit.
kind of like my thing.
Oh, shit.
So I started at like 10, now I'm at like, I don't know, 70 or 80.
Oh, okay.
You know, so and then I'm just gonna keep adding one until I can't do them, you know? That's like just been like my psychological thing I do.
Just to get better?
Yeah, just one, every week I just add one and add one and add one.
Well, the good news and bad news is, but at some point you're gonna be like at 1,000 something.
I'm telling you what, I'm already getting to the point where I'm like, you know, dude, I'm like, fuck, dude, I gotta like, I know you get there for the burpees, I gotta, I finish my last sip of coffee and then I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, that's like, so I do one set of 55 now.
Okay.
Right, I just do one set, not, like continuous,
That's
boom,
good.
boom, boom, right? And it was 50.
Yeah.
And the number, like that was just enough that it's challenging.
Yeah.
But not so challenging, I'll talk myself out of it. And, and I've done more.
That's a good point.
Like I've done it before, I do 200.
Yeah.
And like, I'm beat up at 200.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
Right?
And just time.
Yeah, like if I didn't weigh over 225 pounds, it'd be one thing, but it is a ballistic movement.
Yeah.
And I talk to guys all the time, like, bro, my fucking elbow, my this. I'm like, well, yeah, it's like, this is not something that like the human body is like designed for per se.
It's smart to do them with the, I like that you do them with the thing for the wrist, man. It's smart.
Well, that was after I broke it.
Yeah, dude.
I can't really go flat hands.
I can see that, but I can also see it being like super helpful.
It has helped with like the shoulders.
Yeah.
Because like the one thing that like you don't realize is that your traps engage.
Yeah.
And when my traps get super tight, I'll get a pain on the top of my shoulder.
Okay.
Like I had a rib out like probably 2 months ago.
Okay.
Right, and I still fucking didn't.
Yeah, you're like, something's wrong.
When I'm sleeping, like.
How'd you get it
I had to go to the chiropractor.
Really? And he was like,
and he's like, oh, bro, he's like, you got a rib out. I was like, I thought like I tore, like, you know, pulled something or whatever. And then, boom.
Felt better?
Oh shit, fuck yeah, I'm back, you know. But I was like, it was hurting to breathe. I couldn't sleep, and then, like the whole time I'm thinking like, this is gonna affect my burpees.
Yeah.
You know, like even when I broke my wrist, I told them at the hospital. I'm like, you have no idea. They're like, what are you talking about? They're like, I can't do my burpees tomorrow. And they're like, that's what you're worried about? Like, you got a broken, like, you're worried about burpees?
Yeah.
So I did body weight squats.
Yeah.
And in some ways, the body weight squats are worse.
Yeah.
Especially for a guy like me, you know, like my legs aren't that great.
Yeah.
So I was doing 100 body weight squats.
Yeah, you're like,
but listen to Grant Cardone, right? Another guy with lots of money, whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, I do 10% more of everything. Right? On anything I do, I always do 10% extra.
Yeah.
So now I do 55 burpees.
Dude, I like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I like that. And that's kind of the incremental progress. I said it the other day on thing, the Japanese call it Kaizen. Small incremental improvements daily. And I really like that, man, that philosophy of, bro, you don't need major course corrections, at least not kind of when you're going in it. Bro, stay in the game by small, man, put 5 pounds extra on the bench press. Do 10 more push-ups, man. Eat that little bit tighter, right? Can you get your schedule that much more efficient? All these little areas, now if you're not progressing, you're regressing. So be very careful about staying stagnant about what you're doing, because also it gets stale. So you want to challenge yourself a little bit. You don't got to be fucking crazy, man. You don't got to be doing all this, you know, because generally it's not maintainable if you're trying to just do crazy shit in every direction. Man, simplify it. Simplify, streamline, small incremental improvements. That's it, man. It's the name of the game. Dude, I seen this Solon stuff, dude. They got some cool shit.
Yeah, so.
Dude, I saw the guy on like soft white underbelly, the dude with the.
Yeah, Mohawk Matt.
Yeah, Mohawk Matt.
He's on my program.
Yeah, I saw him with you.
He'll tell you, he's not the most disciplined eater in the world.
Yeah.
But he's got one of the craziest schedules of anybody I've ever met.
Really? Like what? Like.
He's like nonstop involved in so much stuff.
Yeah.
So like, you know, being obviously like a huge member of the Sullen team, he's going to tattoo shows all over the country. He's at tattoo shops. He's on a tattoo TV show. He's in movies. He's doing interviews. He's doing. I mean,
he's
it's nonstop. He works out every day. He's he's basically trying to build his personal brand, and knows a lot of people, networks like crazy. Super like, and if you meet him, I don't know if you ever talked to him or not, but like very polite, like very respectable.
Yeah, been through a lot, dude. That dude,
bro,
dude's been through a lot, man. A lot of time, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, but if you talk to him, like, you understand, like, he's going places.
Yeah.
You know, like he's not stuck in that life. Like he has no aspirations of being anything less than the best. You know, and that's what I liked about him. You know, like that's why we get along so well.
Yeah.
And so because of that, basically like got me the connection with Solon.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they got some good stuff too, man. Like their art and stuff, because it's kind of like an art line. I've noticed. They got a lot of...
I mean, it started in like the Huntington Beach area. It started.
Oh, is it an HB brand?
Yeah, so the two guys that run it are from Orange County, basically, and it started off like way back when as like kind of in the dirt bike world, because back then, this is like early 2000s, that was like the hot ticket. Metal Militia, like that was the scene, you know. And so the dirt bike thing, the tattoo thing, it was always like that. Those genres were crossing over very quickly. Yeah, it was like all the music, everything, all the celebrity, quote unquote celebrities at the time. The MTV crowd. It was all dirt bike. It was tattoos.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. So they kind of got into that initially, and then branched off and started doing collaborations with tattoo artists.
Yeah.
And then became more of a tattoo brand in a lot of ways, because they were letting the artists design the shirts.
Oh, I see.
So like they were doing collaborations like that. And so I went to their headquarters. They have amazing headquarters.
Where's it at?
It's in Seal Beach.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually part of the Affliction building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So like up until COVID, they had like a badass full gym in there. Like all the fighters were in there, and they had a track.
Yeah.
Well, then they couldn't use it anymore, so then it became essentially like inventory space. You know? But they have all this original artwork on the wall. Like you walk into the main showroom, like it's an experience just being there.
That's cool.
You know, and
I've been seeing that brand come popping off everywhere.
Yeah, and they've been around for a long time.
No.
You know, a long time. Like oh man, over 20 years.
Damn, dude, that's what's up.
And
it's impressive to have that kind of longevity in the apparel space.
Oh yeah, and the connections. I mean, they're basically the main sponsor now of like every tattoo convention in the country. And they got all the artists that they're doing, different charity events. They have like artwork sales, obviously. things, and I got that roped in, you know. And like I tell people, when you're an addict for life.
Yeah.
So you better find something positive to channel all that energy into.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because like, it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's that whatever that mindset is, that switch.
It's there.
We get locked onto things.
So then I was chewing tobacco like I was sponsored by fucking Skoal. Like chewing tobacco all day long, right?
Yeah. And
then it turned into the eating.
Yeah.
So like, I got sober.
That's a tough one to get past too, because it's not illegal. It's not as a bad thing, bro. You're just eating and you're confronted with it every day.
Yeah, like we all have to eat.
Yeah.
So that's the other slippery slope. We all think we're an expert at it.
Yeah.
Because you got to do it. We all do it every day.
Yeah.
So I went it wasn't until recently, right, the last like couple years, where then the personal development came on, and then that's when the eating started. So like, I got sober, but that didn't solve it.
Yeah.
Because I never went down the personal development road. So even in sobriety, I was still going negative.
Yeah.
And I was still doing things like my life was better, but mentally I was still in a bad place.
Other pieces.
Yeah, I was still like dealing with anger. I was still doing this. I was still, like, I wasn't like whole, right? So
what was a major piece with the food that really kind of flipped, that changed the game for you?
Well, I got up to 315 pounds.
315, man. Yeah. 315.
315 pounds at 5'11".
Yeah.
And I was a football player at 230.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So obviously I was in a relationship. I was comfortable. I just had a kid. So like it was easy. My wife's tiny.
Yeah.
Like 110 pounds.
Yeah.
She could eat whatever the hell she wants. Like I don't like. We would go to fast food restaurants and. Like, I act like I'm sponsored, you know, like, just putting on a show.
Putting on a show.
And we're doing like 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
And so it just got progressively worse. It happens to a lot of guys. You're in a relationship, you get comfortable.
Yeah.
You're not on the market anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Like, we're in love. Like, okay, so eat more, you know? And so that's what I did. But then it got to the point where I thought I was eating good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go get a salad from like the local spot, and then I'm putting like, I don't know, 12 ounces of ranch on that thing. But it's a salad. You know? And or like, I think I'm eating good because I'm going to a Chick-fil-A. I mean, like a chicken bowl spot. You know. And it's like, well, but you also had a pizza that night.
Yeah.
You know, like, and so it was just a culmination of like, just living life.
Well, that's why getting with the coach, man, and I'm not trying to sit here and bang the drum, hire a coach, I don't give a fuck you hire me or but you have to fucking know, because I see fat people at the farmer's market all the time, eating healthy, right? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. How many people you see in the gym also that are in there all the time working out way fucking harder than us that look terrible, right? We all know them. You might be one of them. It's there's very, very specific information that if you apply correctly, bro, you're gonna start getting some fucking results, man. Yes, results matter. It's about the mindset, but fuck, man, if you're in there doing the work, you wanna see some momentum, because it also allows you to feel that motivation because you're seeing it in the mirror. Don't waste your time, bro. Don't try to figure this out in 5 years when somebody already has it right here in a fucking blueprint that'll show you, and you can figure it out in 3 months or 6 months, man. Don't waste your time. That's at least what I had to do. I had to reach out to somebody. Bro, I was SEAL Legionnaire, dude. Nobody could teach me how to eat and train. The truth was, I was holding fat. My energy I could barely make it the fucking stairs. I was so fucking tired. And I was like, damn, dude, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with macros or food. That was the truth. Because what I was doing at 24 wasn't working at 37. That was the truth, man. And so once I reached out, learned some new numbers, fucking boom. It was like a major piece unlocked. Also from the self-worth that I built from knowing I was doing the right thing and knowing I wasn't guessing anymore. That was a huge piece.
Yeah, I wish it only took me 5 years. It took me like 27 years.
Yeah.
Like, been working out for a long time. Like, I know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, and then started watching some of these guys on Instagram and realized, there might be a better way. But it took me a long time to drop that ego.
That's what it is. That's the answer. Right? I got to drop the ego and listen, man. Just listen, man. Somebody is going to tell you some information, but you can't hear information or understand information you think you already know. You can't learn something you think you already know. It's impossible.
And then, listening to Wes Watson, I always go back, I give Wes the credit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's the voice. So listen to him, the way he talked, like, men aren't supposed to have tits, I don't talk like that. And I don't, but it resonated with me.
Yeah. It makes, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It checks out in the logic. Yeah. It checks out, right? Yep, it checks out. Also, the macronutrient piece is major, right?
Yeah,
that's a major piece, man.
That was the game changer.
Yeah.
So with all the years of working out and I thought I was eating good or I thought I'm eating clean, when I figured out the macros and how to apply that system and how to do it properly,
so good.
It's science.
It's a fucking game changer.
Like there's
how fast the results happen, and dude,
guaranteed.
You're 230 pounds, man, with abs, bro. 230 with abs, bro. If you're into twos, bro, like what do they say? Abs on a skinny guy or like tits on a fat, they don't matter. Well, it's a testament to consistent, correct, accurate work over time. That's what it is, right? Because man, just
and just knowing those numbers
and having low fat.
Like that's why I ask people to tell me, I'm eating good. Okay, well, what are the numbers? And then when they track it, they're like, wait a second, like, man, this is crazy. Like I didn't realize I was eating 120 grams of fat every day.
Yeah, dude, and that was the other piece too. Is I didn't understand that. People go, man, but they're good fats. I go, yeah, I'm not saying that the actual macros bad, right? Fats are bad, but the quantity's bad.
Exactly.
Right? That's the. Yeah, I get it. You said something great the other day, dude, that I fucking laughed, bro. You're like, I like avocado. Yeah, no shit. Everybody likes avocado. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, but you have to eat 2 whole ones.
Well, that's what I tell people too. It's like the other beauty of the macro diet when you know the system. And this is like one of the biggest freaking problems that everybody has. You can eat whatever you want. Yeah. I tell people, you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? Yeah, you just can't eat as much of whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
And so when they hear that, that takes away that fucking objection, which is like, oh, well, on day 17, I don't want to eat chicken anymore. Cool, you don't have to.
Yeah, eat something else.
Yeah, you want to have a pizza on day 17? Let me show you how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's why I teach a lot of people. Now, what other diet has that? Right?
Yeah.
Like
deliberate, man. Well, it's because it's strategic. That's that other piece too. Is I always kind of pound the drum of deliberate and strategic. Everything in your life should be deliberate and strategic. A lot of guys are very deliberate about waking up for work or very deliberate about this piece or that piece, but then there'll be like these glaring chunks of that are variables, like the food or going out and partying, and man, then ruining all the rest of it because something bad happens. Try to make sure everything you do has a strategic purpose, right? Are you eating strategically for a purpose? Are you waking up strategically? Are your movements strategic? Where are you going? Who are you talking to? Everything should relate back to some strategic point, because dude, this is your fucking life, man. You got one. Don't squander it by doing shit that's not getting you where you want to go. And well, how do you do that? Well, you act strategically, right? You don't go into a battle. You don't go into fucking war without a strategic game plan. Well, you shouldn't, right? Yeah. Sometimes, I won't get into politics, but it happens, man. But the smart man knows that you got to fucking act strategically, and that's definitely with the food, man. That opened up the clarity for me massively.
Well, like you said, it's purpose.
Yeah.
Like purpose over pleasure.
Yeah.
And I heard a good quote recently, and it makes a lot of sense. Like when you're eating that food, it feels good. I get it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel as good as this feels.
No, it doesn't.
To walk around in a body that you're proud of.
Yeah.
Like no meal is ever gonna change that feeling,
Nope. And it starts to flip the script where it actually becomes like, dude, it's even while you're eating it, it's not enjoyable anymore. Because you're like, fuck, dude. Like, why?
Well, and like, I got 2 young boys. Like what kind of example? Like that's for me. That's where it's at. Like if I can look like this for 2 young boys, and I have a daughter, so I'm setting up my daughter for like who she's gonna want to be in her life. Like what kind of man's like? Kids never see me drunk. Yeah. I don't do drugs. Yeah. Kids never see me all fucked up on drugs. Yeah. They don't even see me eat cookies. Yeah. Because I don't. Yeah. Like no cakes. Like straight discipline. So I'm showing my kids like, look at how Dad.
That's how man acts.
Yeah, like look at how Dad lives his life. Yeah. Like they're surrounded by a lot of other men that don't live like that.
Yeah.
So
but set yourself apart, man. Set yourself apart, bro. Dude, you got kids, bro. There's not a better reason. It's a powerful reason.
Well, like the lifestyle I lead, like shit could crack off at any moment, you know. Yeah, but that's for anybody anywhere now. Yeah. Like we don't live in this is not fucking Nerf world anymore.
Yeah, this is America, man.
Yeah, like how many people are like leaving the grocery store and some fucking maniac. I was in Huntington Beach over 4th of July. Literally like 2 blocks away after I left, some dude pops out of a car and just starts stabbing people.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Like random people. He killed 2 of them.
That's crazy.
Right? Like, so if that cracks off and you're with your family, you're trying to tell me that you want to be 30% body fat, fucking you just stuff down a pizza, and then you want to take on that situation?
Dude, there's a great saying we say, bro. They go, you will never rise to the occasion. People want to live in delusion. They're like, yeah, if it comes off, man, I'll be good. Negative. We say it in the SEAL teams, they say it in special, you will never rise to the occasion. You will always, in a bad situation, fall back to your worst day of training. So, if you ain't training at all, bro, I don't even know. You're not gonna be this Superman when it matters. You're actually gonna fucking be on your worst day. Don't forget that. Don't live in delusion, man. Don't live in delusion. If you go pick some shit up, see where you're at. Go for a fucking little ruck run, see where you're at. Pick up your wife and kids, man, and see where you're at. If you can't do that shit, bro, that should seriously start to bother you.
Well, and I know you've seen it, but the look of fear in a man's eyes when he knows that he's physically outmatched
it's real.
is one of the most terrifying things I've seen that I never want to be a part of. I've seen that look many times where like they just like go to like ghost mode, like
they're like,
fuck,
this is too much.
Like you're getting mauled by a fucking 800-pound gorilla. And they're getting ragdolled and they're like looking at you like just helpless. That's a painful fucking look.
That's not a situation you want to be in, man.
From the outside in. Like, cause you're like, God damn, I don't want to feel like that. Ever.
And it's all in your control.
Like
it's all in your control, bro. Look, it's all here, bro. This is the United States. This isn't France, man. There's a gym on every corner, bro.
And even if you are in France, you can still do burpees and, you know, you can do the Mike Tysons all day long. You know?
I'll tell you what, the gym culture in France is lacking, bro. It's just totally different world.
It's weird because you go to like Germany and they're all monsters.
Yeah, dude. It's just France specifically, dude. And you want to know something weird there? Nobody re-racks the weights, bro.
Oh no, don't Andy Frisella will lose his mind.
Dude, nobody re-racks the weights. It is the weirdest thing, man. Everybody just leaves like weights on everything. It
sounds like 24-hour fitness.
Dude, it's the gym culture there is just, are there tough dudes? Yeah. You know, are there some guys that lift? It's just few and far between, and it's just the young kids, they smoke cigarettes and sit in cafes, you know, that's like what they do. And like you might have some older guys that work out, but it's nothing like out in the United States.
Part of the social construct of that country.
Yeah,
I mean, even here, like the young kids, they're fucking wearing Crocs, they're in their pajamas.
Dude, what is going on, bro, with the mushroom haircuts and the Crocs, bro? Dude, hey, man, what is going on out there, man? If you got a mushroom haircut and Crocs on, bro, what is happening, dude?
It's a trip, too, because like the styles, right? Like all of a sudden, like the 80s fluorescence and like the crazy, like that became like a cool thing. The dudes are rocking mullets. Right? But then there's all these guys now coming out of high school, they're fully blasted. I'm like, what the heck? Like,
dude.
Like, we're the bad influence now, you know? Like,
I know, dude.
Damn, you're 17 years old and you got a fucking full sleeve?
We were kind of coming up, dude. We were getting tattooed. It was kind of like not as, you know, I had like my full back done and arms and stuff going into, you know, coming out of high school, really. And then, but we're in that Southern California culture. It's a little different. But dude, even now, and that was rare kind of then too. It wasn't as widespread.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you know, it's interesting. Like the world that we're living in right now is interesting. In a lot of ways, we're on borrowed time for what we're doing here.
Yeah, dude.
You know, I don't know if you pay attention to like all this AI and
bro, it's wild.
Like the chips that are being implanted in people's heads.
Dude, shit's wild, dude. They say, hey man, stay thinking, bro, while it's still legal. Stay thinking.
Well, and that's, I'd have this conversation with people, and maybe they do or they don't understand it. But anybody that puts that fucking chip in their head,
dude,
has now made everybody else obsolete. Because they're able to process, think, and do things that you and I just can't do. Like literally, they have the power of the phone in their thought process.
I don't know. That's crazy to me.
Oh, it's definitely crazy.
That's crazy to me.
But it's here. Right? Like I can only imagine the military applications.
That's scary, bro.
Like you don't think that China has like a full fucking fleet of cyborgs ready to rock and roll? Like guaranteed.
People willing to implant that chip quick.
Or even there, if you're not willing, they don't care. You're doing it, you know? Right? So like, at that point, where does it spill over to business and sports and anything? Because you can essentially, like, So the way I've seen it, I don't know if it's real, right? Everything's fake nowadays, but CNN, or no, it's not CNN anymore, but Chris Cuomo has his own show, and he's interviewing the dude that has that Neuralink. He's a paraplegic.
Whoa.
And he's like demonstrating, right?
Wow.
So he's on the computer. He's playing chess.
Yeah.
And Chris is like looking at him, he's like, how are you doing that? How are you moving the cursor? Like, are you using your eyes? He goes, no, I just think about where I want to go and it moves.
Jesus, bro.
So it's plugged into an app through his Neuralink,
dude,
right?
that's scary.
So he's surfing the internet doing the exact same thing.
Wow.
So, and Musk just came out last week, and they're talking about people that are paraplegic, like don't have limbs.
Yeah.
They're gonna attach basically these mechanical
That
arms
are like
and legs
like Bluetooth to the brain.
that run off of the same program.
Wow.
So those people can theoretically run like 30 miles an hour if they wanted to, if you had 2 fake legs. You know, you could lift whatever the structural capability of that arm is. You could pick up a 500-pound car if it can handle it.
Bro, cops are gonna have some crazy episodes on these these next decade,
like,
bro.
We won't even need cops anymore because it's all gonna be robots or drones.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get tackled by a drone.
Fuck, dude.
You know, like, and that's the other thing. Like,
The good old days are gone, bro.
I saw a drone, right? It fits in the guy's hand. He throws it up, and they had a mannequin like 100 yards away. And this thing has a barb on it, like a fucking hornet. It like, boom, stuck in the dude's forehead and set off a fucking explosive device that blew his brains out the back of his head. Like that. Right? So I'm like, all the AR-15 guys out there, I'm one of them, but like, that AR-15 is fucking useless.
Yeah, dude.
You ain't gonna be like, there's gonna be 100 of those fucking things. Like, you don't even have enough rounds in that fucking gun. Like even with your expertise, like you're not gonna hit them all.
It ain't happening, bro. I'm hitting probably one, maybe.
And they're gonna freaking and then like there's videos of these things flying through a forest.
Yeah.
Groups of them, not hitting a single fucking tree.
God damn.
All choreographed. So like, good and bad, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like I took the red pill. Like, I can't unsee that shit. But then it's like, okay, so where are we going? Like, now that I know this information, what do I do with it? And like, how do I use it in my business? How do I use it for humanity? Like, obviously, interpersonal connections, hopefully, will be here for a long time. So, okay, because they're coming out and saying the biggest problem that humans are going to have is finding their purpose. But this became my purpose. This is our purpose. So how do I hold on to that purpose and keep making it a purpose with all this artificial shit going on around? And the other thing that's crazy, because I have a 12-year-old son, I see what they're doing. My 12-year-old son can hang out with his 12-year-old friends, just like we're hanging out, and they'll be on the phone and have more enjoyment playing Roblox than they would having a conversation and hanging out with each other. Because they live their life in a digital world where they can buy their own clothes. They use real money to buy the clothes, pets, hairstyles, whatever the hell it is. They're engaging constantly all day long. If he didn't have to eat and sleep, he would be on that thing 24 hours a day. And he's like every other 12-year-old I've seen in the country.
Crazy, dude. We just grew up different, man. Like, ours was just personal connections, man. Like, you go to a house party or something, bro, there was nobody on the phone. There was no phones, bro, like that, dude.
When's the last time you saw a kid riding a bike down the street?
Whoa, that's wild. I never even thought about
Like, go to the elementary school. Like, that was the thing. Like, where are you going to park your bike at?
I didn't even think about that.
You know? Like,
dude, I haven't even seen kids ride bikes, dude.
I was on rollerblades, like 8 miles from my house all day long.
Yeah, dude.
Skating around, right? Nothing now. Like,
that's crazy.
Kids don't leave, and everyone's afraid.
Bro, you blew my mind with that. That's a good point. I haven't even seen, even in Southern California, dude, that was what we did, bro. Go watch Mighty Ducks, get pumped up, go out in the fucking street, play fucking roller hockey.
Roller hockey. I mean, even basketball. Like, any of these outside sports are, a fraction of what they used to be. But all the kids are on the video game system.
And that's why we do it is like, and even with you setting a good example, right? Because at least he's seeing what you got to do, man. Bro, the only way to combat that is hopefully this pendulum shift back, but shows that by living that correct life, living that outdoor active life, living fucking deliberately, taking responsibility.
I wrestle with it, because like as a parent, like if you take them off technology, because that's how we were raised, like that's the thing to do, right? But our parents were having the same argument about the TV and stuff, right? But if we take them off all that stuff,
they're
am
isolated.
I putting him backwards? because the future is only going to be more technologically immersed.
That's a good point.
It's not retracting.
Yeah, is it really stunting them?
Exactly.
And there's probably some happy medium somewhere.
I would think so, but I don't know, because this is the first time in human life. You know, and like when you hear these maniacs around the world talk about it, like, and the way they're talking about it, like they're like, people are going to be obsolete. Like, what are people going to do? Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to find purpose?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have 20 billion robots on this planet. There's only 8 billion people.
Yeah.
And, right, because personal development being what it is, books I listen to, I got the Total Recall book.
Yeah.
Right, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he talks, it's an autobiography, but he talks about the movie Terminator. And a lot of people, yeah, I remember, but like, not specific details. That was like made in like the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So in that movie, he's a robot that comes back from the future to kill Sarah Connor, because she gives birth to John Connor, who becomes the leader of the human resistance against the robots.
Yeah.
Well, guess what year Terminator Arnold Schwarzenegger came back from?
What was it?
2028.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So like, are we on that timeline?
That's a trip, dude.
I don't know.
That's crazy, dude.
Right? Like I don't like to have these conversations with everybody, because some people are like, "What the?"
But it's interesting. It's interesting. It's always good to keep perspective, man.
We just don't know. Like we just live in that world, you know, where like things are happening outside of our control.
Yeah.
Which, coming back to, like, I always rope it back to, guess what I can control?
Yeah.
How much I work out and what goes in my mouth.
Yeah.
Even if you're locked up and you're in isolation, those two things are still very valuable to those people.
Yeah. You can be anywhere and maintain your frame and your positivity. You
know, like, I think I had a Facebook account back in, you know, when it was college only. You had to have that edu, like an email address. But I never really kept like an active social media my entire adult life.
Yeah, that was like me till last year.
And so like a big part of the motivation for when I first got started was I just want to document this stuff so my kids can see.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good healthy reason to kind of kick it off.
Yeah, like they never saw me play football.
Yeah.
And I would watch a lot of guys like, you know, lift weights online or whatever, and I knew my capabilities.
Yeah.
I knew they're not like groundbreaking, but I'm above average.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was like, oh, this is perfect. I can document this for my kids, and they're always going to have it.
Yeah.
You know, they can always be like, look back.
Yeah, and see, okay, Dad was doing this and that, man.
Because one of the, so like we talk about being linebackers, right? My best friend in high school, my other linebacker, his dad was a linebacker at the University of Colorado.
Okay.
Back in like the 70s.
Yeah.
Like the helmets were like made out of like.
Yeah.
Like probably like there's kids' toys that are stronger.
Yeah.
You know? And so anyway, he had this crazy helmet, right? But he had pictures when he used to play, and he was jacked and shredded.
Yeah.
And we all, I mean, for me, I always looked at it, and like a lot of us, like, damn, his name was Lenny. Like, damn, Lenny, you're fucking jacked, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like all of us were like, man, that's fucking badass. Like, and my best friend's name was Nick. Like, damn, Nick, your dad's fucking shredded. And Nick had a fucking 6-pack, 8-pack. You know, he was in great shape. And but yeah, so like I just remember that, you know, being in high school and like looking at these older guys and be like, look at the fucking glory, you know?
Yeah, look at the glory, man.
Right. So like, if I could do that for my own kids as a dad, that's crazy, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
You know, because my dad worked out, but my dad was a business guy.
Yeah.
But I remember he came on a field trip when I was like 7 years old, and my dad had big arms, and I remember like that's all the kids were talking about.
Yeah, how big your dad's arms were. Yeah.
Right. And so then I go, I'm all sweaty. Now that you know, I work from home, you know, and got like a lot more freedom.
Yeah.
I went on a field trip for my 12-year-old, so I could be the chaperone.
Yeah.
Show up first thing out of the gate. Oh, what are you? Are you a bodybuilder or a fireman?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The mustache, right? And I was like, yeah, something like that, you know. And so like now like it gets back to us all the time. The kids are talking about the tattoos, they're talking about the muscles, they're talking, you know. And so you know, in a lot of ways, I'm that guy for my 12-year-old to the point where
that's cool, man.
And then he starts asking my wife, you know, like, hey, I want to start working out. I want to start, you know, I want to get bigger. I want to, you know, and like, he's not at that age. I'm not one of those kind of dads.
Yeah,
you know?
get in there.
Like, I want him to be a kid still, and he has no testosterone. And you don't need to start off at 10 years old to be anything.
No.
Like, I know guys that, you know, played in the NFL that played football for 2 years. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's not. I know Tiger Woods, like, went down his road.
Yeah.
I get it. But also look at the road he went down. Like, like you're gonna get all sides of it, you know?
Dude, I was lucky. My dad, he was a bodybuilder. He competed in like Mr. East Coast, so also played ball. He played linebacker.
Oh hell yeah!
And so he was. My mom was an aerobics instructor and shit. So like.
So was my mom.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Mike. So I was lucky that fitness was not like it's your whole life, but it was always part of the flow. Like my dad always had big arms and was, in shape. And I always, when I was a little kid, I looked up to guys with like tattoos and big arms and shit, man. I was like, oh, that's what a man looks like, And so when I was, I think we started lifting probably about the same time, 13-ish. And dude, I remember, bro, I was young. I was like probably 12 or 13. And we had winter break. And I would stay up late and like watch Howard Stern. Like I wasn't really supposed to watch it, but I'd stay up late.
Yeah, Howard.
And I had a dumbbell. And I was doing curls, bro, like all the winter break. And my arms got a little bigger. Yeah. And I remember this feeling of like my arms bigger. And this girl goes, hey, your arms got bigger. And I was like, yeah, all right, dude. I was like,
I'm hooked.
I was like, yeah. I was like, so you just work out a little bit. But I experienced like this confidence that started to come from just lifting and I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked the energy of the gym. And so setting that example early because, dude, it's primal. Like as boys and stuff, they see strength. I don't care what society ever is. Yeah. There's a primal like understanding of just power and strength. It just is.
Well, like I said, like the influences that we had in our generation were way different, and it just came down to like, especially for me on the football field, and especially at linebacker, if you're going to be strong, you're going to outwork everybody, you're going to take that field with just a little extra moxie, like. You got a little extra attitude. Yeah, just like. Yeah. I go back to like that fear, if you get rocked, and I've been rocked maybe once or twice in football, like rocked. Yeah. Like you never want that fucking feeling.
No, dude, yeah. You got that feeling of like out of like the lights.
Just totally just get like decapitated,
I've gotten cracked back to one time that I was playing Helix, man. It was when Reggie Bush was playing. It was that time. Yeah. Dude, they had some ballers, some Samoans I used to play with in Curating and stuff, and bro, I got cracked back one time and I was like, never again. Yeah. Never again. My head was on a swivel from that point on, bro.
You're going to train harder. You're going to, like it's just one of the, like you said, I think it's more common for our generation than it is for the young guys.
For what?
Just to like be primal, to be a man, to fucking handle business because it's so frowned upon now. Yeah. Like we get it. Like our generation's like, man, bring it back. Like I love when you guys talk about stuff like that. Like, live that life. Like, like live that cowboy life. Like, right? Like do the shit that like most men like won't do. Yeah. But the new generation, like it's fucking like they're waving their hair in their face. They're wearing fucking Crocs. Yeah. They're just like they're not like quote unquote violent. Yeah.
There's still like I still think there's because you can't deny what's real. Like you can't deny they're walking in and they're. Because I still see some of those kids in Crocs in the gym, Yeah. So there's still a thread of like, man.
Well, I guess you get both. Like nowadays too, there's such a prevalence for weapons. Yeah. Right. Like you'll see these dudes, like they're young, scrawny dudes, and they're just fucking pulling the trigger.
Yeah. They're just like, I ain't lifting, I'll just shoot.
Yeah. Like, and that's again, I guess it depends on like where you're at. What culture you're being brought up in, like what's your, obviously that's your economic status. But I mean, and then you got like these like, malls getting ransacked by like, 75 fucking dudes that are all like 16 years old.
What the hell, man? Just the lack of respect. I'm gonna do a little pan thing here.
I haven't even taken,
Oh, bro, check this out. Check this gym out. 360 Fitness, man. Duarte, California. Bro, we got Gons. Gons behind the camera, laying down that fire. And Big John in the house, bro. Man, we're gonna lay it down. We got the YouTube coming out. You're gonna see it. The Catalyst, baby, the Catalyst. Stand by. Cool. I think your content's fucking really, really clean and consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent like how I like to do stuff, right?
Yeah, because it's, you know, you're not fucking trying to pull any weird wazoo shit. It's very clean, concise information. I watch your fucking stories and shit because I get shit out of it. Yeah. There's very few people I watch their stories. Very few.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I watch your stories, bro, because it's...
You're putting too much pressure on me now.
Yeah, no, well, I like just, hey, man, dude, it's just very applicable daily stuff that you go through in your head, and it's usually how to stop yourself from negotiating, which I really, really appreciate because, man, I deal with it. I can negotiate myself into a lot of things, and so it's helpful for me.
Yeah, I guess I wrestle like I don't film like highlight videos per se.
Yeah.
Like set on the way I do things, you know. Like it's me and my tripod.
Yeah.
I film a couple different angles, and like lately I've been trying to do more like messaging stuff, but there's a big part of my life that I don't talk about at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you'll never see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like it is what it is, you know.
Yeah. Well, you gotta have those. You gotta have those areas you keep kind of guarded. You know, I think you do a good job with like the family stuff, because that's the stuff that really matters. You know, all the rest of the stuff is. Yeah. You know, it doesn't add. It's not gonna add. It might add cool factor, but it's not gonna add. You know, it's gonna add more complication than it's gonna add.
Yeah. There's a level of intrigue to it. What I would like. I look at it like this. If you're part of something or we're part of something, and then you use that as part of your message or how you're trying to grow yourself, and then that world loses all respect for you, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You know, and so I was, again, social media being new to me, there's a reason. Like, I was just taught we don't do that.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with the way I was living my life and this particular opportunity kind of fell into my lap because of the success I had.
Yeah.
So it was my coach was the one that was like, "Hey, bro, you're gonna inspire a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like we need to get you out there, you know." And I was like, but I like being a coach. Okay, it makes sense.
It's a necessary piece.
Yeah, but like I don't like doing the content.
It's that necessary piece because that how do you got to shake what Brad Lee says it. You got to be able. How do you shake a million hands?
Yeah.
This thing.
This is an extension of a handshake.
It's how you shake a million hands. The brick and mortar stuff, dude, is just not how you're gonna reach the most people. And that's why if people are on, you know, social media, it's people go, oh, social media is bad, or it's how you use it, right? It's a tool. It's a powerful tool. So that goes into that diet. What are you consuming? And also, man, start producing. Make your own stuff, man. If you have some lessons to learn, share it. Those lessons, man, they're not meant to just stay inside. We are a massive society, a big tribe. We all get connected here because we're like-minded individuals. Man, share some stuff. Post some stuff in the comments, man. We respond, man. This is all. Don't just be looking over the fence. Engage. This is social media. Be social. Also be social in the right ways, right? Keep it positive, man. If you want to be that person creeping around hating, man, you can, right? I guess it's a free country, but what is the strategic nature of it? Right, it goes back to everything deliberate, everything strategic. Is it really serving a purpose for you, right? Is it just to throw shade? Well, what is the reason for you? Because it ain't hurting me, that's for goddamn right? So it ain't hurting John, right? You know, so it's like, man, be strategic about it. So add some positivity, man, because that's actually helping people, right? And people can learn something from you.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things was when you get over fearing about other people's opinion, then you can move on out of that self-imposed prison that you've created for yourself.
Man, I was more scared of getting on social media than I was of like fucking going to Iraq or anything, bro, dude. That's serious, man. Or jumping out of a plane, bro. I was more scared because I was like, man, you know, am I gonna be able to know how to post, right? It's simple. I'm not like I'm kind of a knuckle dragger in a lot of ways, bro. And like, I'm like, am I gonna know how to post or edit my shit, or man, you know, what am I gonna say? There was all these things, and it was all self-doubt.
Oh,
and that path didn't become clean or clear until I actually started walking it. And I was like, oh, okay, right? And so I had my own self-doubt before I went into this. There's 100%. I was not confident or knew anything was gonna work.
I'll go back and look at some of my first videos, and I'll be like, I'm like, what the heck is that? Like, I even thought about, I came up with this idea. I went and got a blood test, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you talking about? And I felt terrible. They're like, your liver enzymes are 7 times what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Your kidney enzymes are 3 times what you're supposed to be, and your cortisol level spiking.
What was that caused by, do you think?
The low carb.
Yeah.
Like your body needs the carb.
Dude, I've gotten a lot of good results on like that moderate to high carb. I thought always carbs were supposed to be super low, but dude, I've found that I can drop weight and feel better.
And then there's a lot of people, I made a post about carnivore diet,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize that was like...
Dude, I saw you getting blasted, bro, online. They're like, Big John, dude, here's me and my carnivore, dude. I see all these guys coming throughout. What's your whole thought process on that?
So a couple of things. I'll let the cat out of the bag. I knew it was going to be controversial.
Yeah.
So every word that I use was done on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I knew it would elicit a response. I just didn't realize it was going to get forward. I didn't tag anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't like hit the carnivore community.
Yeah.
That happened by itself.
Yeah.
And then now I'm realizing like, okay, these people do get carbs.
Yeah.
From Kool-Aid. The fucking carnivore Kool-Aid, because they're fucking all in on this shit. Like it's fucking crazy. Like
what is that?
I'm like, guys,
because dude,
like, come on, guys.
I'm still a little confused because for me, dude, when I did kind of carnivore-ish, I tried it. I felt fucking terrible. I did not feel good, dude. I was like really low on energy.
So these people think like I'm just like some like uneducated. I listened to the books. I listened to the studies. I did the keto thing myself. Mm-hmm. Yes, people can flourish on that diet. Joe Rogan's one of them. There's all these doctors, or there's competitors that do it. But the reality is your body is best served by eating carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Because that's the quickest way to get the glucose. Mm-hmm. Your body will produce the glucose without it. Mm. But now you're taxing the liver to do that. And you have to break down the fat and the protein in order to get that. Mm-hmm. So technically, yes, you can live that way. Like technically, yeah, you could be a bodybuilder and live that way. You could be, but the vast majority don't.
Yeah.
And that's like my biggest argument is like, how can you tell me that this is a superior diet when all these other people aren't eating that way?
Yeah.
And is the human body really designed to just completely eliminate a macronutrient?
Because we're an omnivore. Our bodies are meant to process multiple different types of things, nuts, vegetables, and
there's that. Your teeth are made, the way your jaw's made.
That's why we're omnivores. It's obvious.
The way your body breaks down the macronutrients, like you're not supposed to just eliminate. So the true carnivore eats nothing but meat.
Yeah.
And eggs.
Yeah.
And maybe like oysters.
Yeah.
But there's no plants. So I'm going on this page, right? Like Sean Baker's the one that Dr. Sean Baker. Mm-hmm. So I'm like curious. I'm doing the research. I go on his question and answer. He has them saved in his stories. And he goes through and someone goes, hey, do you eat sweets? And he goes, like reluctantly, he's like, oh, well, you know, a couple times a year I'll have some cake. I go, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Like you can't be the carnivore doctor and be like, oh, I eat cake a couple times a year. Guess who hasn't eaten cake a couple times a year? Me.
Yeah.
I eat carbs. I don't fucking eat cake.
Yeah.
No, but you're gonna eat cake. Oh, everyone needs carbs. You're proving my point again. This shit's not sustainable.
Yeah.
And most of the people that I talk to
eat some carbs.
Eat carbs, but the ones that are coming off carnivore or keto or whatever else, or fasting, that's another, the fasting, I get it.
Yeah.
But 99% of the people I talk to that are doing those diets are doing it to circumvent discipline, tracking, logging.
Yeah.
They want to take the same mentality, which is the quick fix, which is I don't want to think about it, which is the instant gratification, and apply it to their diet because it's going to get them the best results.
Yeah.
Every single time they fall off.
Yeah.
Because they haven't worked on the most important part.
That's a good point. There's and the recording of the macros for me, there's a lot of clarity that comes from the control, the discipline, and me knowing and not just like, oh, I'm just going to eat as much meat as I want. When I tried to do that, I felt really bad, and my clarity wasn't there because I hadn't worked on the discipline piece. Well,
and that's a big part of why the macro diet and tracking your food is so important, because now you are looking at food in a different way.
Yeah,
and
you're forced to.
Yeah, like you're seeing it. And then I have my client, we have a process. Like you're going to build out your stuff ahead of time.
Yeah.
And you're going to see it. Yeah. Psychologically, it does something.
That's a good way to do it. Sometimes I don't have people do that. Also, it eradicates that decades of habit of dopamine hits eating and boredom eating. It immediately, because you're forced to actually put it to paper, that you're like, now you're responsible for it, so you're aware of it. So just in recording, your consciousness is raised with it. So you're like, am I really fucking hungry or am I just bored?
Yeah.
And even for me now, I'll be like, oh, go into the cupboard and I'm not even fucking hungry. And why am I eating right now? I'm just bored and I want to eat.
Yeah.
And it's rooted deep.
Well, and that's the programming part.
Yeah.
So that's like what helped me on my journey, and a lot of people, I went to a plant-based diet when COVID kicked off.
Yeah.
And so that helped build some dietary discipline, because now I can't eat meat, I can't eat cheese, I can't do all this stuff. So I was able to like get off my pizza addiction, get away from the burgers. And then I did that for a couple of years, and then listening to Joe Rogan and all these, like, they're like, no, you need to eat meat. The second I introduced, it was turkey, I went easy. The second turkey hit the system, it was like, oh, I'm back. Like, where's this been, you know? And
the second turkey
like,
meat hit the system.
I was like, whoa, what the heck, you know? And so, but then I was 285 pounds coming off of a plant-based diet.
Damn.
I went down to 250 and went back up to 285.
Yeah.
For the same reason that all these people have these yo-yo diets and the carnivore doesn't work and the fasting, because I didn't work on the main muscle.
Yeah.
In between the years is all of it.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing, like, and that's my deal with like a guy like Sean Baker. Like, okay, cool. Like, if you're carnivore and you're the guy, you have 500,000 followers, you sold how many books, you're on Joe Rogan talking about the carnivore diet, how do you rectify eating cake? Like, you either are or you aren't.
Yeah, you're all in or not.
There is no in between. Oh, sometimes I gotta eat carbs.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's not the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
the second that you're eating anything.
I eat a lot of meat and sometimes cake.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
And I think it's like 98% of the time. Like, well, I don't even know. Like, I'm a 100% macro based.
Yeah.
Like, I 100% don't eat cake.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, ever.
Yeah.
Like, there's been times when my wife's family, like, it was my daughter's birthday. Like, oh, like, you're not gonna have a snow cone with your daughter? And I pulled a Westline. I go, with all due respect, like, I don't take advice from people I don't want to look like. You know? Like, to her aunt. And all of them was like, whoa. I'm like, whoa, what? Like, where were you, motherfucker? I'm eating a whole large pizza and dousing in ranch, and you guys are dead silent.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's cool. But the second I don't want to eat a snow cone, now that pisses you off?
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point. Wait, why is that? Societally, what is normal and for giving people shit for is very backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and
very
like,
backwards.
Like sobriety, right?
Yeah.
When I tell people, I don't drink. No, cool. When I tell people I don't eat pizza, I don't want, fuck, they won't stop for 30 minutes. Like, and they'll even like, oh, you don't want some? You know, like, no one ever did that with me with a beer. Like, oh, you don't drink? Ha, ha, ha. You sure you don't want? No, it never happened. But with pizza, they're like, they'll throw it at me like as a joke, you know, or like, I'm like, where the fuck are we at?
Oh,
like,
dude.
Like, you're going to go easier on me with alcohol.
Yeah.
Right? Than you will with food.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's fucking crazy. Like, you're going to go all day long.
Because it kicks something off in people that is triggering to how their flow is. And I think a lot of people will understand that. It shines the light back on people. And so, man, don't be that. And that's just raised consciousness too. Be aware of why you're speaking to somebody or giving somebody shit. Think for a second, why am I giving this person? And I have to do this to myself too. If I'm like, want to clap back at somebody, usually it's some deep rooted insecurity at me, right? And you point a finger at somebody, you got 3 pointing back at you, that old saying. Why am I giving this person shit? Well, it's because, okay, I'm doing A, B, and C, and it's making me question, right? This is how you elevate emotionally and psychologically. People won't do it because it doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable when you start to take that inventory on yourself and go, yeah, well, that is pretty fair. Okay, I actually respect that, right? It's why would you give somebody shit for actually trying to be better? If you are, man, think why, right? There's a reason.
Yeah, I think it's human nature in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You don't want to confront your own demons.
No.
It's way easier
Dude, that's painful.
Point out everybody else's stuff. But to go back to your question about the carnivore diet, I purposely engage with people because I know it's going to boost my engagement.
Yeah.
I'm playing the algorithm game. And did I think that I was going to end up on some carnivore guy's page where he's like debunking every one of my statements? No, I had no idea that was going to happen. But I relished it. I go, this is awesome. Like, I will have that conversation with anybody. Like, it's not like an animosity thing. But what I noticed is that particular group of people immediately go straight to disrespect. Like, oh, this guy's a fucking...
And this is actually a good question. Why do you think that is? Because if you're truly confident in your system, there's nothing to argue about.
Well, I think that's it right there. Like, you know how many times I've gone on to defend the macro diet and talk shit to people on their page? Yeah. 0. Like for one, I know it works 100%,
Yeah.
so I don't need to go defend it.
Yeah.
And I don't need to go on a carnivore's page and then tell him he's an idiot, he's a clown, he's like, he's a knuckle dragger or whatever, like, whatever statements that these people have been throwing at me. And all because I'm telling them that it's a superior diet to eat a macro-based diet as opposed to just eating meat, But I made comments on purpose that I knew was going to trigger those people.
Yeah. Well, you got to have fun too.
Yeah, well,
we're here for the fun too.
We got to play this game with the algorithm, So, and like I said, any engagement is good engagement.
Yeah.
And I guess the good news is at least we're arguing about like diets and like healthy stuff.
Yeah,
and we're not going at each other for like fucking politics. Or
some bullshit.
Like, something like what kind of music I like, or like what kind of flag people are flying, or I don't know. Like at the end of the day, we're all human beings on this planet, and if we can make each other's life a little bit better, that's probably in our best interest, because life is getting shorter and shorter as we speak. So
yeah, I always say, like, this carnivore people, I go, so if you're a carnivore, I go, you eat nothing else.
Yeah.
Not a piece of fruit, not a piece of anything, no ketchup on your fucking shit, nothing. Because for it to truly be that, it has to be that.
You have to be all in.
And that's what I've always asked people. I'm like, so you haven't, they're like, well, I have some wine here. And I'm like, well, that's not a carnivore diet.
No.
There was an old, I forget, Larry the Cable Guy joke, and he goes, man, I started this steak and wine diet. He goes, you just eat steak and wine. He goes, I lost 20 pounds in my driver's license.
Well, you know what's the truth about Larry the Cable Guy?
Oh, man. You gotta love those presses, bro. Gotta love them. Sometimes they get all cutesy with the new stuff, but man, that hits good.
It's good, right?
Wow, the angle on that's really good.
Different, right?
Wow, it's like just that outside enough. I have a hard time with my back, man. Like my arms engage, and I've had to really. I worked out with Charles Glass up in Venice Beach.
Oh, did you? Eat some food, I'm hungry. Lo and behold, boom. I see this, it was like glowing, the jerky stand.
Yeah.
I'm like, boom, I get jerky. And so now I'm like, oh, it hits my macros.
Yeah.
If I can, holds me over, I feel full. Tastes fucking good, like at the time of the brand I was eating, I was like, it tastes good. And so I was like, oh, boom. That's when it started. I was like, now I can come up with something. My clients.
That you can get behind, too.
People can support me.
Yeah.
but it also solves a need for portable protein.
Yeah.
That can, like, because a lot of guys are, truck drivers, construction workers, like, what do I do? Okay, well, here you go.
Yeah.
Or like a biker, right?
Yeah.
Like, throw this in your saddlebag. Now you can bring it with you wherever you're at. It's going to fill you up.
Yeah.
And then what I did is I made each bag the maximum amount of protein that you want to eat per sitting.
Wow, that's good, dude.
So you eat the whole bag, that's it, you're good.
Wow, that's smart.
So that's it.
I like that.
So that now you know. That's like your meal
Yeah,
replacement.
boom, grab my bag.
Yeah, grab your bag, that's your meal replacement. That's the optimal amount of protein for your body to absorb. It's like the maximum amount.
Yeah.
But you're not going to eat 2 bags or 3
yeah.
bags. It's not like eating a 24-ounce porterhouse or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right? Like, like this is a properly portioned bag of jerky. And then I went and I'm like Nike. I read the fucking Shoe Dog book, right? Personal development.
Yeah.
Listen to Phil Knight.
Yeah.
Guess how many pairs of Nikes ever produced? Like they've ever manufactured themselves? 0.
Yeah.
They've never made their own shoe.
Yeah.
Never, not one time.
Yeah, they just
They have a basically production facility to do it for them. Like they do what they do, right?
And they're the marketing and they're the fucking
So
branding.
I do the same thing with the
Smart.
jerky. I'm not cooking this stuff up in my kitchen. Like I don't want the FDA in my house every day.
No.
So
because it's specific, right? Efficiency.
So I partner with a company that's able to execute on my ideas.
Yeah.
With the way I want to do things, with some of my own flavors and things that, right? Like we work on this stuff together, and then boom, it comes to me ready to rock and roll.
That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll be stoked to support that, bro.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. No,
I brought you some,
Yeah, dude, I appreciate that, man.
doing like your underhand, your reverse grip row. And then the belt squat machine. Another one that I never really tried to use, but I've been using it. It actually works pretty good. This is our version of the hack squat. So it's a linear hack squat. You can actually bust out calves on this too, but this hits the quads in a completely different manner. I like this machine a lot, but I tell Frankie all the time, I want a real hack squat, so we're working on that. And then, obviously, your leg press. Now, for whatever reason, the hammer strength sled weighs more. So I feel like this one provides a little bit more resistance than like your Life Fitness or what you would see at 24-Hour Fitness. But yeah, this is a good piece of equipment.
Nice, dude. Dude, this gym is executed well, man.
And we got in-body scanners everyone can use. There's a room for cryo. There's a room for there's a cold plunge in there, and one of those red light therapy saunas. So
sick, dude.
It's got everything.
It's full execution, man.
And it's open 24 hours. So we all have,
get up here.
It locks by itself, but we all have a, as a member.
Dude, it's sick, man.
And